Hi everyone, it's me again. Today I'll talk to you about Louis Braille and about writing, Braille writing. I imagine that even if you are sighted, that you did hear in certain point of your life that there exists writing for blind people which is called Braille writing. This was a very young guy. He was born in France in 19th century, and when he was 3 years old he had an accident at his father's workshop. And because of this accident he got an infection on one of his eyes and it passed to the other one, so by the time he was 5 years old he was completely blind. But he went to the school anyway, and he was quite a bright kid, but his problem was of course that he wasn't able to read or write because of his sight condition. And one of the teachers told his father that there's an institution for blind people in Paris and that it was for free. So his parents sent him to this institution to acquire some more knowledges. At first, in this institution, they did have some books for blind people, and the letters were the same way as they are for the sighted people. They used a metal pen to lift the areas of the paper which would represent the letters. But this system didn't work very well because it was quite difficult for the students to read, and they only had very few books, if I'm not mistaken, 12 or something like that. And one day a soldier appeared in the institution and he told the director that he developed a system of dots that were codes for the letters, and he used it for his soldiers because sometimes on the ship there was no light and they needed to find a way to be able to read some things in all kinds of circumstances. So his system was basically built on 2 columns with 6 dots in each of them. So there were 12 dots in total. The school thankfully accepted his system and they tried to apply it to the students, but it was very complicated for them to read it because the area where these dots were was too big. So it didn't work well. And Braille, when he was 14 years old, decided to try to adapt this system, and he thought he would only use 2 columns with 3 dots and that he would develop a code system to be able to use it. And he took 2 years to develop it, and what his work is what we know today as Braille writing. I have here a die, and here's number 6, and there are 2 columns. Here's the left one and the right one. Since you have to turn around the paper to read, there are different systems when you write it, and the different one is when you read it. When you write it, you count 1. On the right column on the top is 1. Below that is 2. Below this one is 3, and then the left column is for 4, 5, and 6. Because then you turn around the paper, and when you read it is the other way around. It's the left column is for 1, 2, and 3, and the right one is for 4, 5, and 6. We need very simple tools to be able to write in Braille. One of them is paper. It's not a common paper from any stationery because those are too thin and the dots get too easily erased. It is a little bit thicker one. And then it's a slate. It's the tool that would help us to hold the paper so it doesn't move, and it also has some holes that represents the spaces for the dots. And the third tool that we will use is a stylus. That's like a type of the needle with which you will mark the dots. So we open the slate and we put the paper inside. Okay, I'm trying to put the paper the most left that I can to the edge of the slate, and then with my right hand I will check if the distance of the paper on the top is equal on the left side to the one at the right side. Once I'm sure, I close the slate. I have to pressure it, okay, and now the paper is fixed. Look, or the ones that can see, it doesn't move, okay. I will take the stylus, and here we go, learning our alphabet. If you're barely starting, I recommend that you write quite some lines of all the dots from 1 till 6, so you get a little bit of feeling how to write it and a little bit of notion where the spaces are. Right now I will only write 5 of them. 4. I wrote 4. Now we are going with the alphabet. Letter A, 1. B, 1, 2. C, 1, 4. D, 1, 4, 5. E, 1, 5. F, 1, 2, 4. G, 1, 2, 4, 5. H, 1, 2, 5. I, 2, 4. J, 2, 4, 5. I will stop at this point in this line and I will go to a new line. Why? Because here the combinations of dots were different, and now for the following letters we will use the same combinations, just that we will also add the dot 3. We stayed with J, so K is like it is, for example, like the letter A, which was 1, and we add 3, so it's 1, 3. K, 1, 1, 3. L, 1, 2, 3. M, 1, 3, 4. N, 1, 3, 4, 5. O, 1, 3, 5. P, 1, 2, 3, 4. Q, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. R, 1, 2, 3, 5. S, 2, 3, 4. T, 2, 3, 4, 5. I finished right now this line. U, we are going to add the dot 6. So U is 1, 3, 6. V, 1, 2, 3, 6. W, 2, 3, 5, 6. X, 1, 3, 4, 6. Y, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Z, 1, 3, 5, 6. Okay. Now to be able to write the letters, we also have to know how to mark that something is a capital letter. For that, it is 4, 6. Obviously, all the rules about capital letters apply, like the first word in the sentence, for the names and on. Let's try to write Yana, for example, with the capital letter, obviously. So first I will write 4, 6, and then Y was 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. A, 1, N, 1, 3, 4, 5, and A, 1. Okay, this was a short course how to write letters in the Braille system, and I also showed you how you mark that the letter is a capital letter. In the next session I will show you how to write the numbers and also some different symbols that we also need to write now and then. I hope it was useful for you if you're trying to learn to write in Braille. Please don't get frustrated because it's a lot of practice until you memorize it. And well, if you are not going to learn how to write it, I hope it was interesting for you. So see you next Thursday here with part 2. Bye.